Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Awesome. Mhm. All right, awesome. So I've been doing a lot of pelvic floor work lately, and lower abdominal work, and I felt like it is a good thing to add into this class. So we're still going to do a full body workout, but I want to go ahead and incorporate some of those things here too today. So I'm going to offer up, you don't need to have this near you, but if you want to have a small pillow or a small ball or something, we're just going to use it for like inner thigh engagement. So if you want to, I just wanted to give you that option this morning, or anything that's small. If you have like a yoga block even to use, feel free. But again, you don't need to, just wanted to offer it up as an option. So I'll give you guys a few minutes if you want to grab those things if you want to. And then for those of you who are not going to, let's go ahead and lay down and we will get started on our backs with some breathing. Laura, I hope you're feeling better. I just saw you chat. It's never fun. Back stuff is never, ever fun. All right, so go ahead and get settled in. You don't need the prop right now. Just go ahead and put it next to you. If you decide to use it, great. And let's just start how we normally start, by just taking a few breaths to just settle into our mat. Checking in with our body, becoming aware of any tightness. And also, if we are having any injuries, really being aware of that and doing what just works for you this morning. And I'll offer modifications throughout the class as well. So first, let's just close your eyes. I want us to bring some awareness to the breath. So just taking an inhale and an exhale, allow everything to sink, kind of imprint into the mat, open up across that chest. And on this cycle of breath, begin to see the pattern of the breath, inhaling, and that natural pause, and then an exhale, and your natural pause. So just noticing your breath. Now bringing some awareness into your body as you breathe. Notice as you inhale, the rib cage fills up. And as you exhale, the abdominals begin to contract maybe slightly, but don't overdo it. Just begin to notice. And the reason I want to do this is I want to bring some awareness into the pelvic floor this morning with breath. So on that inhale, the diaphragm falls, and on the exhale, the diaphragm rises, which allows room for the pelvic floor to contract. So maybe visualize that. And I'm going to give you some different cues this morning to help us visualize that to start. And we can get into some breath work and some abdominal work just through breathing first and then moving through some mindful movements. So thinking about your pelvic floor as a hammock, and it's connected to the four corners of your pelvis, of the pelvic bone, tailbone. And think about every time as you inhale, everything falls down and allows yourself to press almost as if it's a jellyfish. I know that sounds kind of a funny thing to imagine, but on the inhale, the jellyfish tentacles open, and on the exhale, the jellyfish rises up towards the surface and feeling pelvic floor rise. Inhale, release, and relax. And then on the exhale, don't squeeze the glutes, just feel abdominals begin to contract and pelvic floor begin to engage. I'll also use the imagery of an elevator. So taking that inhale as the elevator goes down, and then the exhale, thinking about elevator rising up, and pelvic floor rising up with that. So just take 2 more breaths there and just notice your breath and how it relates to the abdominals and the pelvic floor. And again, not squeezing the glutes, not allowing that pelvis to come under, just like we talk about every class. Just keeping that neutral pelvis, really allowing the abdominals to do the work and not allowing the legs or the glutes to take over. All right, from here, go ahead and grab your prop if you have one. We're gonna just place it in between the inner thighs. And taking an inhale here, and even if you don't have the prop, just thinking about allowing the legs to squeeze slightly together. But think about the squeeze not coming from the knees, but coming from the inner thighs. So take that inhale, don't squeeze anything. And on the exhale, squeeze the inner thighs together. Feel pelvic floor engage. Don't squeeze the glutes, and abdominals begin to really contract. And then we inhale, release everything. Watch the upper body through this. It's gonna want to get tense, don't let it. Exhale, squeeze that ball from the inner thighs, not from the knees. And then inhale, we release everything. Let's do 2 more just like that. Exhale, squeeze, feeling abdominals sinking down. And then inhale, release everything. And then exhale, squeeze inner thighs, engage, or at least just pulling towards each other. Abdominals sink, really feeling pelvic floor rise, holding there. And then release. And from here, take that inhale. We're going to do that pelvic rocking. Just inhale in a neutral pelvis. And then exhale, rock the pelvis back towards you to that 12 o'clock position. And if you have a prop, go ahead and take a little squeeze there too. And inhale, rock the pelvis to neutral. Exhale, rocking it back towards you, squeezing the prop if you have it. Again, coming from the inner thighs, not from the knees. And then release, trying to keep any tension out of those hip flexors. Exhale, rocking back and doing a little squeeze here. Glutes are soft. And release, let's do it 2 more times. Exhale, squeezing that ball. Opening, just sternum is nice and soft. Inhale, release, let's do it 1 more time. Exhale, rock and squeeze and a hold there. So just holding right there. So from here, whether you have the prop or not, little squeeze in. So just bringing those legs, giving a little resistance to those inner thighs, squeezing and releasing. So just a little pulsing there, trying to keep the glutes out of it as much as you can. Really think about coming from the inner thighs, thinking about that engaging pelvic floor into those abdominals. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and release everything down. Go ahead and take the prop out if you have it. And from here, go ahead and take those knees right on up to tabletop, keeping head, neck, and shoulders down. From here, taking an inhale and an exhale, find those abdominals heading down. Again, little squeeze of those inner thighs together. So thinking about squeezing of the inner thighs, not the knees. So no prop is needed here. Every time we squeeze, feel pelvic floor engage, low abdominals really turn on. And if this position is too much, you can bring those knees in slightly towards your chest. If not, keep those knees right over top of those hips. Go for 3, 2, 1, and then let's go the opposite direction. Allow the knees to fall open and then close them up. So a little adduction, abduction here, and feeling abdominals. Every time we squeeze it close, Exhale and allow those abdominals to sink down. We inhale, open, feeling that on the outside of the legs. Exhale, squeeze it closed. Inhale, open, and exhale, closed. Watch that chest. Allow that sternum again to be soft, trying to keep those shoulders open, but the rib cage still, as we always talk about, keeping that knitted together here. Let's do 3. Exhale, 2. 1, go ahead and bring those knees in just for a slight second, checking in with your low back. And then go ahead and place those legs back in a tabletop. Take the hands and place them right on top of the quad. So not on the knees, but down a little bit on the quads. We're going to do a dead bug here. So from here, again, without curling the pelvis under, we want to keep the pelvis nice and flat. Abdominals are going to turn on and they'll probably start to shake a little, and that's okay. Take an inhale for resetting here, and then exhale, press the legs and the hands in towards each other and feel low abdominals turn on. Don't curl that pelvis under though. So you'll feel maybe those back baby dimples pressing into the mat here. And inhale, release. Exhale, press legs and arms together, abdominals turn on, and inhale, release. Exhale, pressing. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. And inhale, release. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press and hold. Inhale, release. Last 2. Exhale, press. And last 1. Exhale, press. And let's move both of those hands over to the left leg. So we're going to do the same thing, but let's release that right leg long as we press the left leg and arms together. And then bring it in. And we're going to switch the hands over to that right leg. Left leg lengthens, right leg and arms press in, abdominals engage, maybe a little shaky here. That's okay. Bring those hands over. Exhale. And inhale, bring it in. Exhale, switch it out. Inhale. So small movement, but really turning on those abdominals. And that exhale, and that leg presses out and the other leg presses in. Left leg is long, right leg presses into those hands. We're going to do 1 more each side. Exhale, press. And switch, exhale, press. And bring everything in. So just wanted to show how breath work there really can engage those low abdominals and get us into pelvic floor work, which is such an important part for posture, for just so many things in everyday life, not just for working out. All right, go ahead and place those feet down on the ground. We're going to go into our marching. Go ahead and take those hands behind the head. Inhale here to set it up, and then exhale. Nod up, chin towards the chest. Gaze comes in towards that belly button. And let's begin to march here just from this position and set it down. So we inhale, exhale as it comes up, inhale as it goes down. Exhale it up, and inhale down. Really bringing awareness to the pelvis, making sure that pelvis is not curling, glutes are not kind of doing this grasping, gripping thing. Exhale, left comes up. And if you need to lay head, neck, and shoulders down at any time, go for it. Just slowly moving through this. We're going to be super slow and controlled today. Exhale it up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Press that head back into those hands too. Let the hands take over so that the head, neck, and shoulders are not having a lot of tension in them, or at least that neck. And gaze stays towards that belly button. Exhale, left leg comes up. And it goes down. Right leg up. Inhale down, last one to the left. And then we're going to go ahead and bring both legs up into our tabletop position. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Find those abdominals, corset everything together. Inhale, both legs go down. And exhale, coming up. So it doesn't have to go down far. Just as much as the abdominals engage and that low back is feeling supported on that mat. So you feel those baby dimples into the back. Exhale it up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale down. And exhale, bring it up. Inhale down. Exhale it up. 3 more. Last 2. Keeping any tension out of that jaw. Last 1. Holding here. Now we're going to do singles from this position. Inhale down and exhale it up. Inhale left. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale right. Bring it up to the left. Exhale, really sink belly as you pull that leg up, staying out of hip flexors, really staying in those low abdominals, feeling this absolutely in those upper abdominals as we hold this upper ab curl too. To the left. I promise you'll get a little ab break after this. Exhale, pick it up. To the left. And to the right. Last one on the left. And then bring everything in, sigh everything out, release those shoulders down. If there's any tension in that neck, go ahead and look from side to side. And then place those feet down in front of you. And we're gonna go ahead and get into some shoulder bridges here. So again, if you wanna grab that prop, feel free to stick it between those inner thighs. If that is not for you today, don't do it. What I do want to make sure that we do is focus on those knees coming straight out of those hips so we're not letting them fall or sink towards each other. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, begin to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, bringing awareness to that pelvis, noticing if one half of the pelvis rises up first, trying to get both halves to rise up at the exact same and arrive at that same time. Inhale at the top, notice rib cage together, abdominals are plugged in, and then rolling it down 1 vertebrae at a time. If you have that prop, just giving a little extra squeeze. Inhale, release the pelvis at the bottom, and then exhale, rolling it up. Notice the pelvis. Is one side taking over? If it is, make some adjustments. Inhale, reaching at the top, feeling a nice stretch across the front of the body, and then exhale, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Super slow and controlled. Abdominals are pulling in to support this position as you roll down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, rolling it up. Let that sternum be soft. Shoulders are soft. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you roll it down. All right, great. And rolling it up. Exhale, rolling up. This time we're going to stay up at the top, coming all the way up, staying right there. So if you have that prop, great. We're going to do a little squeeze. If you don't, that's fine. Same thing that we did on the floor. Little squeeze together. And again, that squeeze does not come from the knees. It needs to come from those inner thighs. Thinking not of the knees here at all. So we don't hurt the knees. We want to protect those. So maybe glutes are a little involved, but we're not gripping the glutes here. Squeeze, exhale, squeeze every time. Shh, shh, shh. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay right up where you are. Take an inhale. Exhale, course those abdominals again. Let's hinge the hips down. If you have that prop, keep a little squeeze in that prop and press it up. Inhale down. Exhale, press and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale, press. So definitely hamstrings and glutes more involved here. But again, not letting them take completely over. Inhale and exhale. Again, checking in with the pelvis. Are we coming down and up at the same time on both sides? We've got 5, 4, exhale 3, 2, hold it up on 1, take an inhale and an exhale. We're going to come to those heels. Now we are going to get into those glutes and those hamstrings a lot more and do that same movement, little up and press, but feeling that definitely more in those legs. Exhale, press, watch the sternum. I always let my chest puff out here, really allow that to sink down. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place those toes down, taking an inhale. Exhale, rolling it down 1 vertebrae at a time. If you have the prop, go ahead and take it out. We're gonna roll right back up. Take an inhale and exhale, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. So same thing we did on the floor that we're gonna do here. Checking in with the abdominals, checking in with those rib cage. Allow the legs to drop to the side, and then exhale, squeeze them in. Inhale, open, and exhale. Inner thighs really are squeezing together there, getting that pelvic floor and low abdominal connection. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up at the top. Let's go ahead. We're going to go up to those heels. I know this can be a calf cruncher here. Getting a little cramp. If you do, go ahead and come on down. So just up and down little calf raises here, keeping those hips level. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Little pulses up towards that ceiling, and then I promise we're coming down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, really get that stretch, and then exhale. Roll it down one vertebrae at a time, as slow and controlled as you can. And then release that pelvis forward. And let's go ahead and windshield wiper those legs back and forth, left and right, releasing any tension in that low back. Awesome. So from here, we're going to do some roll-ups. So putting some more attention on that spine, on those abdominals, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then plug those arms back in, down, so that we have that connection with the mat. The further those feet are away from the glutes, the more accessible this is. The closer they are, the more challenging this will be. One thing I'm going to say before we start to go is trying not to throw those arms forward, really using your abdominals. Reach those arms back, taking an inhale, keep the rib cage knitted together. Exhale, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, chin comes to chest, and we roll it up. Gaze comes over that pelvis, and then we sit up nice and tall here. And before we go back, really think about sits bones reaching together. Pelvic floor rises. We sit up with a stacked spine, and then we exhale as we roll back. One vertebrae at a time. Shoulders stay down and back. Inhale, those arms come back, ribs stay together. Exhale, rolling it up. Up and over the pelvis. And then we reach tall on both sides. Pelvic floor rises, rises. And then we roll back. Notice your head here. If it's jetting forward, press it back. Notice how much different that is getting into those abdominals, so the head is not hanging, so you don't have that counterbalance of weight. Inhale, the arms back. Exhale, rolling it up. We're just going to do 2 more just like that. Inhale, tall, tall, tall. Pelvic floor rises, and we roll it back. Last one, you guys, and we're going to stay up. Inhale, back. Exhale, rolling it up. Shoulders are back. Gaze comes towards that belly, and we're rolling up slow, 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 slow. And then we sit super duper tall, finding pelvic floor. Shoulders are nice and relaxed down. Inhale, exhale, coming back halfway. So finding that curve out of that belly, curving of the spine. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, slice them down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, if you get into those hip flexors, really press those feet down into the mat as if they're suction cups, and kind of pull them in towards you slightly. You get more into the hamstrings instead of the hip flexors. Exhale, arm slice down. Watch those arms. Keep those shoulders right where they are, because you're going to want to reach them out. Inhale. And they don't have to go all the way up either. Just go what works for your shoulder mobility. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Abdominals are turned on this whole time. And then we're going to sit straight up. We're going to do 1 more just like that. Inhale, exhale, curling it back and holding here. We're going to do hug arms. So we inhale, open, and exhale, sink belly to close those arms together. So same idea as those legs. As we find that resistance of the arms coming together, abdominals really contract. Inhale, open, and exhale, close it up. Inhale, open. Exhale, let those up those shoulders, melt down the back. Inhale, open. Exhale, gaze is right in front of you. Inhale, open. And exhale. 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale. I know those abdominals are going to be nice and sore after this class, probably more tomorrow. That's a good thing. And then reaching up super tall. Taking an inhale here, and go ahead and place those hands back. We're going to scoop back here. Open everything up. And I think we did this in class last week, but if we didn't, I think it's needed for some spine work. So let's twist over towards the right and then dive forward, reaching towards that toe. And then exhale, thinking about stacking that spine 1 vertebrae at a time and turning towards the center. Inhale, twisting left, reaching it down towards those toes. Exhale, restack that spine 1 vertebrae at a time and to center. Inhale, twist. Exhale, rolling it down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll it up and back to center. To the left, reaching it down, coming up. And we're going to do that all together. So inhale and twist. So just flow a little bit here, getting some nice twisting of that spine mobility here. Twist as if you're wringing out kind of this wet t-shirt I like to think about, or towel. So just flow with your body here. We're going to do 1 more to the right. And last one to the left. And sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead and bring those feet together. Heels together, toes apart, reaching up super tall. And let's go ahead and roll it back 1 vertebrae at a time. Squeezing inner thighs together, shoulders relaxed down. Rolling it all the way back. And stretch out nice and long there. Awesome. And let's go ahead and turn on our right side from here. So we're going to go ahead and set up so that the shoulder is over top of that elbow. And reaching those legs forward. So again, as much as this feels like a leg exercise, which it is, and it is upper body too, it's so much core. So let's take that breath, inhale and exhale, corset everything together. Find the abdominals, find those obliques on that right side before we lift that top leg up. So we always like to just start a little up and down. Think about reaching that leg over beyond where that bottom leg is. So just a little up and down, checking in with your shoulder, making sure that we're not falling into it, letting it collapse on us. Abdominals really supporting this here, you guys. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. Flex that foot, toe tap down, and then the heel taps. So a little toe to heel, really getting in to that hip, into those glutes, but still staying in those abdominals. Notice how much those abdominals allow you not to kind of fall forward as that leg goes forward and backwards. You've got 3, 2, 1. Keep it up, flex that foot, little pulses up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Check the shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1. Have it long. Reach that top arm over. Let's bring everything together and reach it super long. Exhale, reaching together. Inhale, lengthen as long as you can. Exhale together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Exhale, reaching. Finding those obliques. 3 more. Exhale, crunch it in. 2, 1. Keep that leg up. Reach that hand in front. We're going to allow that leg to go behind. Little toe taps to the back. Still pulling abdominals in here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't lay that leg down just yet. Almost. Bring it up to the side. Tiny circles. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse that circle. I promise this leg is almost done. I know it wants to fall off. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Lay it down, give it a little massage out. And then we're gonna lay all the way down. Bring that leg over top. I can either lay down or you can place that foot on the mat, whatever feels good for you and your hip. We're gonna do that bottom leg here. So reaching that bottom leg up and down. Again, really engaging that inner thigh here. So think about every time you exhale, abdominals pull in, inner thigh reaches towards that ceiling. Watch that top shoulder as it always wants to get tense. You've got 3, 2, 1. Keep it up, tiny circles for 8, 7. Notice if your abdominals have just kind of laid out because now we're laying down. Don't let them. Pull them in, support this position, and reverse it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex that foot, little up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down. Reach that leg long. Give it a little massage out, and then we're going to turn over to the other side. So setting up over on the left side. Again, making sure that the shoulder is over top of that elbow. Back is lined up with the back of the mat, and those legs are forward. Checking with the body before we even release that leg up, taking an inhale, exhale, find those abdominals pulling up and away, nice and tall, reaching it longer than that bottom leg. And we just start with a little up and down here. Releasing any tension in the shoulders, in the jaw. I know this is a place where we want to like hold everything here. Trying to keep the gaze in front of you so we can keep that spine nice and long. You can also, if that's too much, you can also look to the side if that's helpful. Try not to look down at your legs, even though I know this position makes them look so lovely. All right, for 3, 2, 1, flex that foot, little toe and little heel. Toe and heel. And notice maybe if coming forward or back tends to knock you off balance more. Really find those abdominals to hold that position. You guys got this. For 3, 2, 1. Keep that foot up. We're going to do those pulses up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point that foot, reach that arm long. We're going to exhale, bring it together and reaching nice and long here. Reaching, and then gaze can come over that shoulder, reaching long, long, long. Exhale and inhale. Exhale together. Inhale, lengthen. 5 more. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, on 1. We're going to leave it long. Bring that arm in front, little toe taps to the back here for 8, 7. Watch that shoulder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're almost done. Bring it up. Tiny circles for 8, 7, 6. Check in with your shoulder. Make sure we didn't collapse down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse this. You can also, if this gets too much in that shoulder, you can always lay this down, just like we do the next thing with the inner thigh. For 3, I know, 2, 1. Mine's doing the same. Give that a little pound out. It tells you, you are done. That's what my leg says. And then reach that top leg over, can lay down, or it can be planted on the floor. Again, checking in, making sure that those obliques are not just hanging out. Lift that leg and release it down. Exhale it up. Inhale down. Exhale. On that exhale, find that resistance on that inner thigh to the connection with the abdominals. Exhale, reach. Watch the top shoulder. Mine's wanting to curl over. Exhale it up. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. For 3, 2, 1. Keep it up. We're going to do little circles here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't put it down. Flex the foot. Little up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg goes down. Both legs go nice and long. Give a little love to that right side. Then we're going to turn on our back. We'll go ahead and stretch those legs out. And then we'll move on. So go ahead and take that right foot over top of the left. Staying here if this feels good, giving a little press to that leg if you need more. If we want a little extra, go ahead and pull that left leg in, reaching behind the leg. And then think about tailbone reaching down towards the ground so you can really get a stretch in that hip. Also, as we're relaxing here, release any tension in the abdominals, release any tension in that pelvic floor. Such a good pelvic floor stretch as well. And just take one more cycle of breath here. And then go ahead and place that foot down. Let's switch it out. Right foot down, left leg crosses, giving a little press to that knee, or that leg, I should say. If we want a little more, bringing that right leg in and then reaching the tailbone down towards the mat to give that extra stretch in the hip. The shoulders also want to get tense, so release them down and then release any tension in the abdominals or the pelvic floor. And just take 2 cycles here. Awesome. And then you'll place both legs down. From here, let's go ahead and roll over. We're going to roll onto our bellies. So before we get started here, let's just give a little stretch. Forehead is down towards the mat. Allow those shoulders to roll back. Inhale, coming up just to the rib cage. Gaze comes up. And then we exhale, sigh it down. Do one more just to the rib cage. Inhale, gaze comes up, shoulders are back. And then exhale as we float it down. Inhale, coming to rib cage. This time, exhale, press into those palms, coming up, stretching across the front of the body. Open up those shoulders. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, melt it all the way down. And we'll do one more. On the next inhale, coming up to rib cage. Exhale, pressing into those hands, pressing it up. Open across the shoulders. And then exhale, rolling it down. One vertebrae at a time. Let's go ahead and place those hands under the forehead as a pillow. And then legs are going to go long, kind of like a frog. And we're just going to do some leg and glute work and abdominal work. So I always say this, but I really want to make sure that we know anytime that we're on the ground like this and we're exhaling, I want us to engage those transverse abdominals, those low abdominals, to really support the position and making sure that we stay out of the back as much as we can. So take an inhale first here, and an exhale, find those abdominals. As you find those abdominals, you'll notice maybe pelvis tilts forward, which is great. Then it's going to release those legs up a little bit. So notice that this time, inhale, exhale, find kind of that triangle of the pelvis, allowing it to tilt forward and maybe releasing any tension, any weight in those legs. All right, so from here, take an inhale to set, and exhale, abdominals, corset, and those legs lift up towards the ceiling and back down. Exhale, pressing toes up towards the ceiling, and inhale them down. Watch the shoulders. They want to get involved here. Don't let them. And coming down. So just a small movement of legs coming up and going down. Exhale, pressing up, and inhale down. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Let's do 5 more. 5. Exhale, up 4. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. Keep them up on 1. Hold it here. Little pulses from here for 8, 7,
6. Make sure those abdominals get involved. 3, 2, 1. Lay it down. Allow those legs to open up, not distance apart. And then you can allow those hips to rock back and forth if that feels good. And then press those feet down, the tops of the feet down into the ground so we can really support, and then engage those knees so they come up and off the mat. So legs are engaged. Take an inhale and an exhale. Find those abdominals. On the next inhale, allow the upper body to rise up. Hands just stay right where they are. And then exhale as they come down, pressing those feet into the mat. Inhale it up. And exhale, bringing it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale it down. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, staying up. Little pulses up for 8, 7, just a small movement here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything comes down. Take those hands under those shoulders, press it back into child's pose. Take one more breath here. Reach those hands out super long in front of you. Tuck those toes under. And we're going to press out into our plank from here. So take an inhale, exhale, corset abdominals, press out into your plank. Go ahead and come into a regular plank. So allow those feet to come apart. Find your nice plank. Allow the shoulders to melt down. Gaze is right in front of you. Take an inhale. And from here, exhale, pull belly. Don't think about the hips. Just think about belly pulls you up. And that is what pushes you back into your down dog. Not that the hips are bringing you, but the belly is bringing you back. Inhale at the back, press those heels down, up and over. We're going to come up to those toes, come through the spine, find that nice plank. Inhale here. Then exhale, abdominals pull up. Pull you up, 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 up towards the back. Inhale, allow those heels to reach towards the mat. And on the exhale, tip it forward. And inhale, lengthen across the spine. Exhale, abdominals pull up, pulling you back into down dog. Inhale. Exhale, rocking it forward. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen. This time, try a different breath. Try a ha breath. So see if that helps you engage the abdominals a little bit more. Inhale back. Exhale, tipping it up and over. Just one more here. Inhale. Sigh it or hot. I find sometimes in this position that ha breath really helps. Pressing back here. And then coming down onto all fours. So find your quadruped position, making sure that the shoulders are right over top of those wrists, hips are over top of those knees, taking that inhale and exhale, finding that neutral spine so we're not tucked under or we're arching our backs. Inhale and exhale. Nice, and we can find those abdominals there, especially in that ha breath. Reaching left arm long, right arm just a little, sliding it out and then sliding it under. So I like to start it like this so we can really find that neutral spine. This really tells on you if you're arching or hollowing out. It really also makes you have to use those abdominals so we don't lean to one side, keeping that weight even on the middle, making sure that you have a little bit of a slight bend in that right arm. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, close it up. Do one more. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, close. From here, we're going to inhale, lengthen. Let's reach it long and hold there. Make sure that leg is turned down so the hip is not turned out. Turn the hand up towards the palm, up towards the ceiling. And let's go up and down from here. Finding abdominals, relaxing the jaw, breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach that arm down, leg stays up right where it is. Tiny circles to the back. Making sure that that chest is open here. Again, not sinking down into those arms. Abdominals, don't let you circle, don't let you sway all over the mat. And then reverse that circle. You're drawing a little line on the wall behind you with your big toe. For 3, 2, 1, reach that knee into the nose and lengthen it nice and long. Whenever you lengthen it back out, really try not to arch the back, coming back to neutral. Exhale it in. Inhale, lengthen it long. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. 3 more. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale it in. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Holding it here and then bringing it down. And if you want to go ahead and come back into child's pose, release that right wrist. Allow it to circle around if that feels good. Take a breath and then come on and meet me right back up. And this time, opposite arm and leg. So we're going to reach right arm long, left leg long, and exhale, bringing it back under our body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, checking on that spine, making sure abdominals are really supporting this. If we let them kind of just hang out, our low back takes over. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, close it up. Watch as you move that leg in and out too. Notice that the pelvis wants to curl under, keeping it right where it is. 1 more. Reaching long and in. Nice. Now let's reach it long. Reach it up, holding there. Making sure that hip is turned down. Turn the palm up towards the ceiling, getting a little shoulder mobility. Pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg up, arm comes down. Inhale, pressing through those palms. Tiny circles here for 8, 7. Check in with those abdominals. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work, you guys. 8, 7. I think I said reverse it. If I didn't, reverse it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. All right, now go ahead and bring it into the nose and lengthen it nice and long. Again, as it comes in, you are hollowing out, but then going back, really strive for that straight back, that straight spine, neutral spine, not arching as we reach it back. Exhale it in and inhale, lengthen it back. Exhale and inhale, lengthen. Again, try that ha breath here. Notice if abdominals, if you can really engage abdominals more. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Nice. Go ahead and bring that down, bring it under and press it back into child's pose. Taking a breath here. Releasing those wrists. Circling them if that feels good. Taking off any pressure. And just relax into that. And since we did so much pelvic floor work at the beginning, I really want to make sure that we are stretching the pelvic floor. Super important to counterbalance it. We want to strengthen it and stretch it just like any other muscle in our body. So just release any tension. Just sitting back here and relaxing into this. And then from here, whenever you're ready, rolling it up and through. I want to go ahead and reach that right leg through. And we're going to come into pigeon here. So release that right leg down towards the mat. If this is too much for the knee, you can always go ahead and just allow your feet to come together. So it's up to you what feels good for you today. Right leg in front, coming on top of that, and then just same stretching forward. Again, a nice stretch, not only for the hip, but for the pelvic floor, especially just inhaling and then exhaling, releasing. Don't hold any tension here.
And take one more breath. And go ahead and press yourself back. Bring that leg back. Left leg will come forward and switch out to other side for pigeon. Go ahead and allow yourself to come over that leg. And then same thing here. Relax into this as much as you can. You can always just sit with one leg crossed in front of the other. You'll get a similar stretch and release any tension in the abdominals and pelvic floor. Take one more breath. And go ahead and press yourself up out of that. Bring those legs around in front of you and keep them about mat distance-ish or a little bit wider apart, turning them out. Then we're going to just reach our arms forward. And again, allowing no tension. Release the shoulders, release the neck. Take one more breath there. And then walk yourself up. And then go ahead and just cross your legs and let's face each other. We'll take 2 cleansing breaths together. You guys are on your way. Inhale, everything comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, it comes down. Allow the shoulders to just relax down. Before we take another breath, look to the right and center into the left. And then allow the head just to hang and take out any tension there. And let's take one more breath. Inhale, everything comes up. And exhale, sigh everything out. Thanks you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that this was a great class for you today. And if you have any questions about pelvic floor exercises, I'm happy to talk to you about them. I've been focusing on them quite a bit lately for myself and for clients. So I'm happy to talk about that. Next week, I am not going to be teaching. Melissa's actually going to be subbing in for me. So she's going to be doing a yoga class next week. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. But this class will be up on the channel. And so if you're interested in doing that again, feel free to do that as well. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your week. Enjoy whatever weather we get. I feel like it's so back and forth now. But I'll hang out for a few minutes if anyone has any questions.